The diversification of the banana industry will be a top priority for the Ministry of Agriculture in 2014. That's according to Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar, speaking at the handing over ceremony this week of the Orange Hill Horticulture Cooperation Project by the Taiwanese Technical Mission. Caesar noted that despite the challenges, the ministry will be moving forward to build the industry and increasing other crop production.
I am using that as the basis to envelop a full-fledged discussion on the issue of how do we diversify the agricultural sector, what commodities we are going to focus in, and how we are going to increase the production and productivity in those commodities. And here is where the assistance, the continued assistance of the government and people of Taiwan, and us seeing the cooperation as it pertains to the horticulture project, the tissue culture lab, because once we are diversifying, we have to increase our output in terms of planting, good planting material in root crops, in bananas as well, because we are...
According to Caesar, the issue of import substitution and food security are two other major factors they will focus on in 2014.
Especially since we are going to embark fully on a zero hunger program in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we're trying to zero hunger and undernourishment in our country. We have been recognized by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations for our significant work over the past 10 years, and we want to ensure that we continue in that vein in 2014. And the reason why I mentioned the quest to facilitate in a more enhanced manner import substitution is that in a recent discussion with Rohan at the Tissue Culture Lab, we have started our experimental work on onions, on garlic, and on different varieties of potatoes which are imported into this country.
Vincentians have been warned of the significant impact of harmful drugs. Speaking at a discussion this week on the potential legalization of marijuana by the SVG CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, dubbed Free Up the Herb, medical Dr. Sinclair Thomas outlined that harmful drugs can cause changes in the cognitive ability of a person. He noted that there can also be changes in a person's senses.
Time sense is altered when THC affects the brain. That is to say, there is a sense of difference in feeling in time sense. 1 minute may appear to be like an hour. The brain lost the perception of time. Like I said, I brought my heavy textbook. I never experienced it, but we can hear from the experts here, those that have the experience. There is a change of self-perception and evaluation of self.
British police are warning customers not to drink a pear juice drink made in the Caribbean after a bottle contaminated with cocaine killed a Vincentian-born man. Reports are that Jeremy Lewis, 33, of Greggs, died within hours of drinking a small amount of the cold pear D drink he brought back with him from a trip to the Caribbean. The British police said tests on the product confirmed that it contained a lethal amount of the Class A drug. A police detective said they are working closely with partner agencies to minimize any risk to the public and to investigate the circumstances leading to the tragic death of Lewis. He said in light of the analysis of the contents of the bottle, a decision was made to issue the public alert against the consumption of the drink by the Food Standards Agency. Police believe that the bottle was being used to transport drugs into the United Kingdom. Detectives and the Food Standards Agency have also urged British shops that might have the product on their shelves to remove it. No arrests have been made, but police have established that although the drink is made in Trinidad and Tobago, it is not exported to the United Kingdom. In an interview with SVG-TV News yesterday, Jerome's heartbroken parents said they are seeking answers relating to their son's death. The grieving parents said words cannot describe the current state of hurt that they are now experiencing. A memorial service is planned for next week in the Grex community for Jerome. In celebrating 11 years of 9 mornings in their community, Korea turned on its lights last evening for the official launch of its Christmas and 9 Mornings festival. The launch was filled with lots of entertainment as well as worship, as the community celebrated not only the 9 Mornings festivities but also the birth of Jesus. The exhortation was conducted by Pastor Adolphus Isaacs of the Mesopotamia Gospel Hall Assembly. Patrons were entertained by the Bowman's Calypsonian striker, who is based in the USA, and Calypsonian Armstrong Williams. The Korea String Band brought the curtains down on the opening. Here is a highlight from the launching activity.
Exalt his name forever. Holy, 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 holy. Heaven above, God of the Father, in exaltation. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him in Christ the Lord.
Country, light it up. Let us celebrate this season. Christ is the reason. Light up the country, light it up. Light it up for the world to see.
Meantime, 2 scheduled launches for tonight in the Kingston area have been postponed due to the inclemency of the weather. The launch in Tongue Hill will now take place on Monday the 16th and Dorsetshire Hill on Tuesday the 17th December.